Abusiafo aha ayehu TV so mesaw se enene da edi kan a wode ba ayehu TV a obe subscribe obe like obe comment na wa share videos ni ede amai esanse ayehu TV de nsem papa efie ene ha na ene sen audio bi a sesei de circulate ewo monten so a enya asem keto ni na efa IGP Dampare ho na eno na audio no omoche se openi a okasa eche se ebaya IG Dampare yen ji ne position every ni sem esan se anya sa 2024 election enya de se MPP for ebetumi abreki 8 no eno na minority for aba monte so eche se no yenim nipa potia okasa semi enti omu nhwehwemu na omu ntumi ehu nipa kro a oka sansemi abusuafo eno na Paul Otchere adom ede nsem bi apese sa audio ya circulate wodi nchechemu eni sedie ne faweban esitie aba mountain so esanse echese audio ni yebo ni dinwo enti waba mountain so abeyi ne ho ano abusuafo mensem mreni adaje enti yebekọ ne akotie nsem a Paul adom Otchere ede aba mountain so
we can't say, and I have to be clear about that, we can't say whether the tape that was released or leaked is conversations of policemen, but it's purported to be that. It is said to be about COPs, that is commissioners of police. This is the highest rank in the police service all over the world, including Ghana. It is said that COPs were having a conversation about the IGP, who is also a COP, but he's their boss. And they were talking about how the IGP is biased politically, something like that. And that the IGP ought to be removed in favor of one of their colleagues. It's not clear whether the colleague they refer to was in the meeting or not, because you hear voices. You can clearly hear three people. One, the key narrator, two, the endorser, and three being somebody that is sort of interrogating the information. And that person purportedly is not a policeman, but is a politician with, most likely, the MPP. So these policemen are alleging to him, the MPP man, that the IGP is an NDC guy, therefore IGP needs to be removed. And they are promising him as well that if the IGP is removed, they will be able to secure a victory for the MPP if this IGP is removed. That the IGP is an impediment to an MPP victory because the IGP is NDC. Somewhere in the conversation, Good Evening Ghana comes up and they mention my name. Well, they didn't say that I'm part of the plot. They just said that recently, to corroborate their story that the IGP is a member of, an IGP is sympathetic to the NDC, to corroborate that story, they told the person who was listening that recently, we here on Good Evening Ghana had conducted an analysis of who was going to be John Mohammed's running mate. And that, in fact, we had included the IGP and COP Kofi Boakye, my good friend, whom I saw this weekend. I was with him somewhere this weekend. That we had included Dr. Dampare and COP Kofi Boakye. They were using this to corroborate their point that Dr. Dampare and COP Kofi Boakye are members of the NDC. So we'll play the tape to you now, and we will explain the context of suggesting that IGP could be NDC's running mate. In fact, as a matter of record, we have also suggested the IGP to be MPP's running mate. We have done that as a matter of record, so anybody can check that. But we'll go into the details of this tape and understand the first remark that people have made is to condemn the tape and to condemn the action. We will go beyond that and look at the allegations that are being trumped up, if you like, in the conversation and see where the police service in Ghana stands. Because we may be able to sack the people who are talking and all of that. But is that a reflection of the mindset of some of our police people? In America, the Joint Chief of Staffs, they are known, their political affiliation is known. General Colin Powell is Republican, is known. He's a general, is Republican, is known. Another general is Democrat, is known. General Petraeus is Republican, is known. Okay, so we will have to have that conversation, whether the police COP indicating that they are MPP and another COP, the IGP is NDC, whether it's good for Ghana, whether it's the reality or whether it's terribly bad. Let's start with the tape. We have two versions, the long one and the short one. Here's the long one. The long one we're going to play is yet edited out of the one that is making the rounds. We edited it for relevance. So this is the long one. Here it is.
This man is not a lawyer. He has no fair idea of the law. He has never been on the field. It was NDC that was promoting him day in, day out. When Master was assistant superintendent of police, he was a sergeant. You are what? Sergeant. Sergeant.
I don't like it.
Sergeant. Then NDC brought you this far. Now, what he's bragging about is the fact that he will be IGP till 2030. Because your mama has promised him if he should win, may God forbid anything, if he should win, he will maintain him as IGP.
Who was there to hear this?
Oh, it is true. Wait, a meeting was held, of which he was a party to that meeting, and where he was even
The NDC
meeting headed by your mama.
And
This thing is not coming from you. You can Google, you see it.
and
You can go to Ghana Web. Yes, the Dampare was there.
you go what?
Go to Ghana Web. Let your boys do it for you. You see it. Otchere. It is one of his recent episodes. This was the topic. This was the subject matter. This was what was discussed.
And that our MPP.
So you mentioned his name publicly, Otchere. What about this?
Possible vice presidential candidates. Includes Otchere, includes Dampare. What will be his wife?
Yes, if he should win. But all these things Dampare is doing.
But are you saying that President Nanado doesn't hear this?
Who will tell you?
So you heard it. So this is just part of the tape. So they are making an allegation against their boss, which they shouldn't, as COPs, publicly in a forum like that. They really shouldn't. But yes, they are. And they are making the allegation that their boss, Dr. Dampare, is NDC and he was in some meeting. We don't know about that. We can't vouch for that. But then they say that we did something here. Let's hear that part again, the second part. Let's hear it again.
Otchere. It is one of his recent episodes. This was the topic. This was the subject matter. This was what was discussed.
And that our MPP.
So you mentioned his name publicly, Otchere. What about this?
Possible vice presidential candidates. Includes Otchere, includes Dampare. What will be his wife?
Yes, if he should win. But all these things Dampare is doing.
But are you saying that President Nanado doesn't hear this?
Who will tell you?
Did you hear that? Okay, they should play it again. Play it one more time. It's only 43 seconds. Let's listen to it again as I make my final notes. Let's hear it again.
Otchere. It is one of his recent episodes. This was the topic. This was the subject matter. This was what was discussed.
And that our MPP.
So you mentioned his name publicly, Otchere. What about this?
Possible vice presidential candidates. Includes Otchere, includes Dampare. What will be his wife?
Yes, if he should win. But all these things Dampare is doing.
But are you saying that President Nanado doesn't hear this?
Who will tell you?
All right, so that's what they said. They said the program here had. So they are making allegations that Dr. Dampare was with John Mahama or something like that. It's entirely possible that they are trying to impress the MPP person. It's entirely possible that they have their own personal ambitions of ascending the throne of the IGP. So they are telling MPP guy that the IGP is NDC. If the guy sitting in front of them were NDC, they probably would have said the IGP is MPP. So they are trying to campaign for one of them who they mentioned as a lawyer and also a chartered accountant. They raised the issue against Dr. Dampare that he's never been an operations man. I'm not a policeman. I don't understand what it means that somebody is operations or somebody is not operations. But police people take a lot of pride in that. Military people, that this is operations, this is not operations, this is staff officer, and this is command officer. I don't understand that anyway. So they are saying that Dr. Dampare is not an operations person. And they are also saying that Dr. Dampare is being promised by President Mahama that he will not change him. But, I mean, I'm not sure that the new government will change an IGP when the IGP's time is not due. I think Ghana has gone beyond that. But anyway, they make those allegations that Dr. Dampare feels confident because John Mahama said he won't change him. Then we are interested in relating to the part of Good Evening Ghana. So they say, in corroborating their point that Dr. Dampare is an NDC man, that we here on Good Evening Ghana had done some analysis, which is true, we did. And we're still doing it about running mates. And we're going to be continuing the running mates until running mates are selected. I mean, people don't like that we do that, but we will do it. That's what we do. We are political commentators, aren't we? So they said, our work here shows that Dr. Dampare is NDC. That's the clarification we need to make. We did not set out to do our work to demonstrate or to show that Dr. Dampare is NDC. We do not know whether Dr. Dampare is NDC. As I said before, as a matter of public record, we considered or we threw in the ticket of Dampare as running mate to Professor Mills and also Dampare as running mate to the MPP candidate.